America has never been more connected, yet millions feel completely alone. In crowded cities and quiet suburbs, loneliness has become an invisible epidemic. It doesn't announce itself loudly. It slips in silently, reshaping lives, relationships, and even the future of society. Smartphones, social media, instant messaging, connection is everywhere, yet meaningful connection is disappearing. Technology promised togetherness, but for many, it delivered comparison, isolation, and emotional distance. Studies show that a growing number of Americans report having no close friends. Loneliness now rivals smoking and obesity as a risk to health. What was once rare is becoming normal. Longer work hours, remote jobs, urban migration, and the breakdown of community spaces have quietly reshaped daily life. Time once spent together is now spent alone. Churches, clubs, and community centers once anchored social life. Today, many stand empty. Without shared spaces, shared lives begin to fade. Research shows that loneliness isn't just an emotional feeling, it affects millions of Americans. Recent data reveals that about 1 in 5 U.S. adults feel lonely every day, translating to around 52 million people struggling with persistent isolation even after the pandemic. Approximately 40% of Americans report feeling lonely at least sometimes, and some studies estimate more than 80% experience some degree of loneliness in their lives. These figures show that isolation cuts across age, gender, and background. Yet many women report loneliness differently, often surrounded by people yet feeling unseen. Emotional labor without reciprocation deepens the ache. Gen Z and Millennials record loneliness. Growing up online has reshaped how relationships form and fracture. For older Americans, loneliness often comes with loss of partners, friends, and mobility. Many go days without speaking to another human being. Loneliness doesn't just hurt emotionally. It increases the risk of heart disease, depression, anxiety, and early death. Isolation feeds anxiety. Anxiety deepens isolation. The cycle tightens until escape feels impossible. Remote work removed commutes, but also casual conversations. For many, coworkers became faces on screens, not friends. Likes and followers offer validation, not intimacy. The more we compare, the lonelier we become. Endless options have made commitment harder. Swipes replace conversations. Rejection becomes routine. COVID didn't create loneliness, but it accelerated it. Distance became habit. Isolation became normal. Unaddressed loneliness often turns into anger, resentment, and division, fueling social conflict. Loneliness carries shame. Many suffer quietly, believing something is wrong with them. A smile, a conversation, a shared moment connection begins small, but it matters. Communities don't rebuild overnight. They rebuild one relationship at a time. Sometimes connection isn't about fixing problems, but simply listening. Technology isn't the enemy. Used intentionally, it can reconnect rather than divide. Children learn connection by example. What we model today shapes tomorrow. Loneliness is no longer just personal, it's public. Awareness is growing, but action must follow. Humans are wired for connection. Even after isolation, the desire to belong remains. Loneliness thrives in silence but fades when spoken. Across America, millions feel the same way. And connection begins the moment we reach out.